Hi, guys. Welcome back to my podcast. Today I have a very special guest. We have Cassandra.
Hi guys, my name's Cassandra.
She is one of my closest friends, as many of you guys know. But today I want to bring her as a business owner. I want to bring her as a wife, as a friend, as a sister. And although her life, she has accomplished a lot of things, which I'm greatly proud of her. There is still things from all of ours lives that we hold on to. It could be memories, experiences, or just trauma that we carry on. And in order for our lives to evolve, we could be doing good in our career, in our relationships, in our personal self. We still have growth that we need to do. I want to hand it on to you.
Hi guys, I'm Cassandra. As Lisbeth has already said, I am her best friend since 7th grade. I want to say we've been in each other's lives for a while. I'm very grateful to have her as a friend and to give me the opportunity to come on here and kind of tell my story a little bit. Like you said, I have accomplished a lot and I'm grateful for everything I've been able to accomplish. But like you said, there's always something that kind of keeps you from enjoying everything that you have accomplished. Sometimes you have something holding you back that's like, I can't be happy about what I've accomplished because of like I'm still holding on to from my past and past traumas and just everything that comes with having a very traumatic childhood. Like I am a hairstylist. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm a hairstylist and I talk to a lot of women, from different walks of life. And like some people, when I tell them like my story, they're like, oh, that is crazy. Like that's not normal. And to me, it's like, oh, wow, like that was me growing up. Like that was normal to me.
Our nervous system holds a lot of like I said, trauma, and sometimes you don't recognize it when you have tendencies of like jealousy, of being overprotective, over explaining, trying to make people happy. It's like, where's this coming from? People don't realize that it's your nervous system trying to key past experiences with current, right? I believe that our parents are one of the first people that establish that nervous system, right?
Yeah.
They show us love, they show us protection, safety. But what happens when they are the first ones to betray that trust, right? I know I've been through that same situation where my childhood was not very ideal. And I know you have a similar experience. What would you say your childhood experience maybe has made you to be the woman that you are now?
Well, I feel like it's helped me be strong, like just going through everything I went through and having to, despite like all of that. And like you said, it was a parent, like my dad, that kind of was that betrayal for me. And sometimes when it's your dad, it's kind of hard to create connections because, that's the first person you make connections with. Like they're supposed to be, like you said, your protector. You don't expect your dad to be like your first heartbreak.
Yes.
For sure. And it's like I only lived with him for 18 years. So it's like I can only talk about those 18 years. I don't really know him now. It's been like 10 years since I really had him in my life. And that's crazy to say.
Yeah.
That's like your dad. You would think they check on you and stuff, but no.
Let's talk about how you said that he was present for 18 years of your life. But was he physically present or emotionally present? Because I feel that's the biggest difference between, a father who's there spending time with you, creating good relationship, being that support, that father figure, or he's just physically around.
I think to look back on it, as a kid, I felt like I was always craving attention. Like always, like my dad was a present dad, as in like he was home all the time after work and everything, but he would never be like, oh, how was school? Like, what are you up to? Do you need help with anything? That was never him. And I accepted that at a young age. Like, it's okay. Like, that's why I said, like, I tried to chase a lot of his attention by becoming a horse person, like learning how to horseback ride. I was always, whatever made him happy for me to do and like be involved in my life, I wanted to do that. Like, and I pushed for that. I'm not saying he was terrible 24/7, but as I got older and we had less things in common, it was harder for him to like sit with me and be like, hey, this, like, he didn't know how.
Yes.
He didn't know how to talk to me or anything. And so I just became very distant, you know? And like I said, his life was always like horses, everything. So I pushed myself straight in. I was like horseback riding, whatever, I would just do it because, I just wanted him to be proud of me. It was very devastating for him to do a switch when I turned 18. Like, that is the most insane thing to me. It was that when I turned 18, it was like he just kind of treated me differently. I don't even know how to explain it. He kind of was trying to be like nicer to me when I turned like 17. Kind of like, at the time I didn't understand it was like grooming. Like, I didn't understand what that was or anything like that. I just saw it as like, oh, he's trying to rekindle like the relationship, father and daughter, because once I grew to be a teenager, he didn't know how to handle, especially because my parents, like, they divorced when I was in 7th grade, so I had a lot of anger towards him for abandoning us. Like, he just took his things and left to Vegas because he was like, if I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. Bro, hearing that when you're like, I think I was like 12, 13, like, that really stuck with me. Like, the fact that I'm 28 and I can still like quote him.
Those are core memories from your childhood that like have been installed in you. Like you said, it's not just words, it just hit deeper. Do you think it's like you mentioned, we come from a Mexican culture, right?
Yeah.
Where men are taught to be men, to be rough, to not show emotion, to be that machista personality, right? Do you think that was what your dad was taught to be like? And you know, he had girls, you have 2 sisters, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he wanted like maybe to have a boy? You know, typically you wanted to be seen as his daughter, but in his mind it wasn't.
I feel like as a kid I always heard him be like a little upset, you know, especially like when my youngest sister, like when my mom was pregnant with her and he kind of found out she was a girl. I mean, a kid is a blessing regardless, but I do know that he always like wanted a boy. Like, that's always what he wanted. So I feel like growing up I tended to do more boyish things because I was trying to find a medium for me and him to like be able to talk, because he wasn't a person to show like affection or anything like that, because like you said, like the background being like our culture and that's how he was raised. I feel like he had so many things going on internally within himself that I feel like having a family and kids, I feel like it was overwhelming because living with him, it never felt like he was happy with his life or like content. Like when he would come home from work, like you just radiate that he hated his life. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Even me being a kid, like, I understood like he didn't really like his life. He didn't like being a dad. It was kind of more of a burden, like a little more like annoying to have kids like asking you stuff. That's what he gave off to me being a kid and like being on the other end of it.
We're all gonna become elders. We're all gonna grow old, and perhaps these people, like our parents, are just people who never healed their inner child, so they grow up to be arrogant, to be emotionless, you know. It's because themselves went through stuff and never healed, so they grew up with all this resentment, this anger, trauma, and now they're forced to be parents. And how can you teach someone how to love if you didn't receive how to love, right? How to have a good relationship with your children. Especially now that he has women, he feels like, well, how do I bond with them? I can't be rough with them. I can't, you know? And you're trying to find a way to connect with him in his interests. Because maybe they weren't your interests. Like riding horses, and it wasn't of your interest. Maybe playing with dolls, you know? Having your father be like, oh, let's go play teacup, or something as minimal as that. It's like you were adapting to him, not him adapting to having kids. Daughter. And kids.
I mean, yes, I will say I did enjoy having like the farm life, the animals, everything of that. Like, yes, I loved growing up with like going in the chicken coop and eating chickens. Like, I definitely liked the lifestyle. I just feel like it was more the way he reacted to things that he made the household like.
The energy was just...
Because my mom is very like light. From her, I learned that, you know, she always makes her dreams a possibility. Like, she doesn't let anything like stop her, nothing, like no matter what. I remember being a kid and my mom didn't have to graduate from high school, but she went to like, she didn't want a GED. She wanted her high school diploma, and she got it, you know? So it's like, seeing her be that person, I always saw to her for strength, you know? It was never like my dad. Like, I came with him with a problem and he would be like,
what do you want me to do?
Yeah, like, just, well, if it's hard, just don't do it. And it's like, that's not, I was looking for encouragement, not like, oh, if it's hard for you, just give up. It's fine. Yeah. That's not what I was looking for, because my mom was such a positive, like, nah, do it. Like, if it's something you really want, like, go for it.
And it's a crazy dynamic, you know, too, because both of your parents were present, but they showed a different, you know, role model and example, right? So you did mention a little bit how, you know, the grooming.
Yeah.
I think it's a very sensitive topic for anyone, right? But specifically in our culture, I've noticed that it's something that is just like put under the rug. Like, you want to express yourself, even, you know, expressing yourself to elders is like humiliating. Like, how dare you talk to elders and show what you think, and because that's disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
So when you go through situations, are we supposed to stay quiet? Are we supposed to tell anyone? Like, you're put in that mindset and in situation, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to express, like, you shared out.
I have like addressed, because obviously I feel like it's been 10 years. I've never talked about like my parents' divorce, like kind of just everything I went through in that. And I feel like my dad's family has like this narrative already, you know, of everything. So when I do try to express myself to them, they kind of excuse him as like, oh, that's just your dad. Like, that's just how he is. That's who he is. And it's like, my whole life they've taught me to just accept that. Like, since 7th grade, when I told someone like, oh, like, my dad said, if I don't have a wife, I don't have kids. And someone straight up told me like, oh, that's true though.
Do you think it's just like society too? You know, you're expected to respect authority, and parents are seen as authority, right? So, you know, by expressing that, you're like going against authority, right?
It was hard, honestly. At first, like, even just stating, like, I feel like I've never been able to just say, like, yeah, like, my dad, like, sexually assaulted me. Like, I've never actually said that out loud, which is crazy, because I feel like as his daughter, I, like, separated him from the actual, what he did, because I can't see him that way. It's crazy.
I think as, you know, people who have gone through stuff like this, they feel guilty for exposing the person, because you owe loyalty to them. He is part of the reason you're here. You know, it's like that. You begin to put excuses for the person. Like, no, I just want to see you as the man who like had me around, taking me everywhere, giving me kisses, love, and here. But you forget that that's the biggest betrayal of your life. All of that goes away once you realize that he betrayed you in such a way to hurt you, not only physically, emotionally.
I feel like at 18, well, that all happened to me when I was 18. Probably like my senior year. So it's like, well, you knew me in that time, and you knew everything I was going through. I was in a toxic relationship for 4 years during this era of my life with everything that happened with my dad. And I feel like I was beat down from that relationship to be super obedient. Like, oh, yeah, whatever you need. Okay. Oh, you don't want me to talk to so-and-so. Okay. Like, you know, kind of controlling. So I was already being controlled, like, by my boyfriend at the time, and not even, and like my dad at home. And it was like, I never had my own thoughts, my own feelings about things. It was just like, oh, I'm told to get over it. Like, get over it, you know? So having like that toxicity in my personal life and my family life, it kind of made me feel like I was in a hole, and I felt ashamed like of what happened. Now as like an adult, I understand that I was the victim. It was, I shouldn't feel shame because they weren't my actions, they were his actions, and the adult in that situation was him, and he's still like, I'm his blood, you know, like, and for him to still be like, oh yeah, like, well, at least I didn't rape you. And it's just like, how can you say that? Like, you're my dad. Like, how is that? Like, oh, I did that to you, but it could have gone worse. I didn't rape you. It's just like, dude.
It's horrible, you know. I laugh, but it's just when you're in the situation, you know, like you don't know how to react because you feel like you have other people in control of you. Like you said, you were in a toxic relationship. You didn't know better. You were trying to find that protector. You know, if maybe you were expecting your boyfriend to be like, he did this to you, like, let's go do something. But because you were dating a person that was a narcissist, you know, betrayer himself, you thought that you were the one in the wrong, that you had to let it be.
Yeah, and it's crazy, like, when you're in that situation, like, your mentality is so crazy. Like, he did something to me, and I would be like, I'm sorry. Like, that's crazy. Like, to think back, because it's been 10 years since, like, all of this kind of happened. So when I look back at it, I'm like, dang, like, that's so low. Like, that was my lowest point. Like, why am I apologizing to someone when they did something to me?
Now, if you go back and you are able to see the patterns, because when you said when you were a child, you craved your father's attention. You used to be like a father-pleasing person, you know? So now years later, you're doing the same thing with a man. And you're like, I don't know why I'm putting up with this.
Yeah.
It's because people don't have the awareness that it's in them. It's in their nervous system to want to do whatever. Because you've lived it. It's familiar. You know, it's a pattern that's very familiar. And we don't understand, like, why didn't I just leave? I couldn't because it's part of me. It's part of who I am.
I feel like I'm a really loyal person. So it takes a lot for me to leave and give up on someone. And like you said, I feel like it comes from that, like, my dad, you know, like, I've never wanted to go. Even now, like, as an adult, and even though I know all this happened to me, I still don't wish him bad. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, it sucks that happened. But I refuse to let what happened to me turn me into, like, a bitter person, you know? I've always been a person that I believe that people have good in them. I always choose to see the better in people than the worst in people. Sometimes that leaves me open to attacks and, like, stuff that happens to me, and I always hit that, why me? But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let this person's actions, like, change how I see the world, because at the end of the day, something bad did happen to me, but that doesn't have to, like, change my whole view on the world, you know, because the world didn't do it to me. My dad did.
It's important that now that you have the awareness that you know where it's coming from. A lot of people, like I said, they live a bitter life. They're mad all the time. They're irritated. They don't have a purpose. And they're like, why? But at least you understand that, you know, you did go through a lot of trauma as a child, and now it's up to you to change your perspective, to have acknowledgement. Maybe in your marriage now, you know how to put boundaries. Be like, no, my dad would do this to me, but you're not going to do this.
Yeah, I feel like 2025 kind of pushed me to be more of, like, having boundaries, because I feel like I never had them. I never put, like, I feel like this year's the first time I'm like, you're not doing this to me. Like, I'm not allowing you in my space. Like, because my wedding was a big, like, trigger for me. Because the last time I threw a big party and my dad was not going to be a part of it was my quinceañera. And seeing kind of, like, how certain people, like, certain family members felt about, like, my dad not being present, and them kind of, like, treating me a little different. And then once we finally gave in and my dad was a part of my quinceañera, everybody was, like, excited. Everybody was calling me, like, oh, what do you need help with? Like, this and that. It was because I allowed him to be at the party, you know? And if I would have stood my ground at 15, like, no, then they would have not have came, just like my wedding. Like, they treated it the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like, because I put my foot down. Like, I don't want him. Like, the second that he did that to me when I was 18, the dreams of, like, seeing my dad be with my kids, like, seeing him be a grandpa, walking me down the aisle, all of that just, like, died. It's like a string that broke. That's literally what it felt like.
Do you think it's just a boundary? Like, okay, I'm not gonna hate you for the rest of my life. Like, I'm gonna get over the what happened, but I'm never gonna allow you to, for the boundaries, you know, with your kids, your relationship, your, you know, what makes part of you, right?
Yeah, I feel like putting my foot down with him and not allowing him back into my life so easily. I feel like it has separated us a lot, like for sure. But
Yeah.
I will say, like, the fact that he still thinks the same and he hasn't changed just kind of shows me like I can't keep going back to someone who is like determined to keep showing me who they are. And it's like I keep ignoring it because everybody tells me, oh, that's just your dad. Like, that's just who he is. Like,
Yeah.
you need to just love him. Like the Bible says, like you're just always supposed to respect your parents, everything. And I understand that, but it's hard when that parent is so hateful. The way he sees it is we chose like my mom in the divorce.
Yeah.
So when I try to reach out to him, he's like, you already chose your side. Like, why are you calling me? And it's like, I can't have both. Like, I have to choose a parent.
I think that nobody hates anything more than a person who's a victim mentality. Like that they're like, you either choose me or your mom. It's like, well, you made the decisions like to do this. It's between, a marriage is between you
Yeah.
and her. I'm your child. Our relationship is something different. And I know you expressed a little bit about your extended family, how not even support, but pretend that nothing happened. You know, I think it's these systems of like family, or they use like religion as a system to kind of give excuse
Yeah.
to why things happen and why they decide not to face the predator, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
By them not standing against that, they're betraying you too.
I always gave them a little grace because I'm like, I've never publicly like been out here and said like, oh, my dad did this to me. I feel like when it freshly happened, I was kind of being stubborn. Like, why do you need to know about my life? Like, why do you need to know why my parents broke up? Like, because I would get asked a lot, like,
Yeah.
why did your parents break up? Like, why did this? Why is your family split all of a sudden from one day to another? But I felt very like protective over the situation, so I was like, it's none of your business. I would always tell them like, if my dad hasn't told you, then obviously he doesn't not comfortable enough to tell you the reason, so why should I? Kind of keeping my silence kind of gave him room to live his life in peace, and nobody holds him accountable.
Yeah.
And it's like when I do come around, because I don't go to family things all the time, I kind of distance myself because I can't have like one foot in the family and one foot out. By cutting off my dad, I'm cutting like off the people that support him, you know? Not just my family, but they would always tell me like, oh, you and your dad, that's two different things. So I always believed that, you know, like, oh, okay, like you guys love him, but you can love me at the same time.
Yeah.
And they would tell me, oh, why can't you come be here and hang out? And I'm like, because having my dad in front of me is a whole other thing. And they don't see how hard it is for me. Like, I put that aside when, like, big events. Like quinceañeras, like weddings. I'm like, okay, like, these are big moments in my cousins' lives. And, like, I want to be there. But it's the adults in the family that I don't get along with because of, like, my parents' divorce. Like, they've been on and off since, like, I was 13. Seeing how everyone kind of reacted to that and how everyone treated my mom, I feel like I was young to be involved in their divorce. Like, I went to court with them. I, like, saw all the court proceedings. And it's like, people don't see that I was there. I saw all the text messages, like, the court stuff, you know. Not going to go into it, but, yeah, like, and I would go help my dad with his court stuff still. Like, after everything that happened, I would still go and help him because I know he doesn't know how to read. He doesn't know how to write. I can't just let him fend for himself. Like, regardless of, like, what he did to me, I don't have that. Like, the loyalty, like you said, I don't have that in me to just let him hang out to dry. I don't. So I would make sure he had a translator. I would tell him, ask for a translator. I would fill out the paperwork for him. And it's like, his family don't care about any of that. They're like, no, you're just a bad daughter. And it's like, if I could put my own feelings aside to, like, what he did to me to help him, which I don't have to. I did it because, like you said, loyalty. Like, no matter how, I'm very loyal.
And that's the thing. Some people don't go through sexual abuse. They go through physical abuse or verbal or emotional. You know, I myself came from a household where my father was very physical and verbal abuse. He used to use his words in a way that also affect me till this day. It brings doubts, it brings fears, it brings none of it is right. It creates a disbalance in relationship. And now as he's older, he's in his 50s, he wants to reach out and rekindle that relationship that was lost. Now he's with a different person, not my mom, who I think helped him emotionally heal a different part of his life. And for me, it's still hard to be like in a relationship with him. Yeah. I don't see him the same. All I see is the dad that used to hit me, and and have you tried to bond with your father after all these years, or you just like, I don't wish you bad, but I'm not gonna have a relationship with you?
I feel like the first couple years he was gone, I would talk to him here and there. It was more through like my sister, because I had a younger sister, so I was like the middleman between my parents. So like anything my sister needed, I would call my dad for. So like I did have communication with him, but it was never about me or like, oh, like I'm doing good, or no, it was like, did you get the check? Like it was more like, it's more like, like that. And I was like, oh, okay, like you're not calling to check in, you're calling to make sure like my sister's getting the money, my mom's not spending the money, like
wow.
And it was never about us. And I've known that since I was 13. Like even when he split and like left to Vegas, because he was like, I can't be near you guys, so he left to Vegas. He would call me every day when my mom got home from work. Oh, what's your mom doing? Like, oh, is she home? And just like always check. And it was every day. It was not like once a week, twice a week. I grew a lot of anger from that, from him like obsessing over my mom and not worrying about his kids.
Yeah.
Like, did you eat? Like, I don't know, anything. I always had that anger towards him in that area. So like I was very rebellious, and I feel like that kind of triggered him to, I feel like, do what he did, like sexually assault me. I feel like he needed to break me down even more than I already was, so that I wouldn't fight against him, because I was always the one in my mom's ear, like, you could do better, like you deserve better.
Yeah.
And he didn't like that about me.
I'm connecting right now that we talk about it. I talked in an episode previous that men cheat because they want to have a sense of control, right? They emotionally, they have you. If they cheat, like, I made your life crumble. Nothing can make you crumble but emotionally. And that's the same with this. I feel like he found a way to have control over you. Obviously he did have control over you by trying to manipulate the relationship of how close you guys were, right? But now he uses this as a way to like, no, I'm on top of you.
Yeah, I feel like I've always been scared of him. It's not like any like thing new. Growing up, I just saw like a lot of violence. I saw my mom go through domestic violence. That is like the hardest thing to witness as a kid. Like seeing your dad break your mom's heart is a whole different thing. Like it's crazy, because I seen the little girl in her. She just wanted a family. She wanted to make it work. She didn't want us to come from a broken home. But I feel like that really, she was like fantasizing her life, which is, I feel like all girls do. We like to fantasize. We don't like to think about like the negative, of course. I just feel like her own past, her own traumas of like her father and everything, it left her open to like being with someone like my dad. And then in her hopes of like escaping her life, she got pregnant. And back then it was like, you're pregnant, get married. And just seeing her go through life like that, like in order, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Going forward with this, you experience all of this. Now you're in a space where you have acknowledged the trauma, the cycles, the patterns. Now you're in a happy relationship. You just got married in the summer. How do you think now forward you're going to use this experience to create a better relationship with your husband, with your family, the people that support you, and your friends, the people around you? How are you going to use that experience to be like, you know what? Yes, I went through this, but I'm not going to be in that victim mentality for the rest of my life. I'm going to use it to create better relationships.
My husband came into my life at a very crazy time. It was around the same time I was my first year of college. Me and my husband have been friends since like 7th grade, so he's always been around. It was just I was scared to take that step to date him in high school just because of our friend group. Like we were so close, and I didn't want to like ruin that, you know, by dating within our group. So that's why I waited till college. But I feel like he really helped me on this journey that I'm on, and understanding and becoming more self-aware. Being loved by a man that is patient, loving. Like, I'm having a hard day, he's like, I got you your coffee, I hope your day gets better, you know. It's like he is more of a doer, like actions. And I appreciate that because like I don't have to ask him for anything. Like he just knows me so well. He's like, okay, my girl needs this, and he just does it. And I am very appreciative of that because like I never seen that growing up. Being peaceful, like being able to sit down and have dinner with my husband and have conversations. Like it's not everything has to be like an argument, which is something I'm learning. Like I'm becoming self-aware that I'm toxic. Like all the little like quirks I have are from being in my parents' toxic relationship and the toxic relationship from high school. So unlearning all these things and learning positive ways to like express myself and the way I feel. And I started journaling. So that's like one step I'm taking. And yeah, I feel like my husband just became a big part of me coming into my own and understanding. Like he's so positive. He'll be like, babe, you're a boss. Like you can do whatever you want. Like having the most important man in my life, which is my husband, like talk to me like that, so affirmative. Because from a male's perspective, I've never had that like encouragement from like someone so close to me. Like my dad never did that. So having my husband be like my number one supporter is different. It's a different type of experience. I feel like at first I was very toxic because I didn't know how to accept that type of love. Because my husband's very gentle and I'm very like quick. Like I'm quick to have anger, quick to everything. I'm very reactive. So that is something I'm trying to work on. And yeah, just my husband telling me like, hey, like you're internalizing a lot. Like I need you to tell me what's going on. And I'm like, I didn't even know I internalized things. I just thought like, oh, I'm just quiet, no one can tell. Like I have a lot on my mind.
I think that's a powerful duo, to go from a parent who was neglectful and tough to a man who supports you, to who makes you feel seen, motivated. That's something like I would be thanking God. You know, because with a man like that you can go far. You can be the best version of yourself. Imagine not having to like over explain yourself to be seen. Like, you know, like you said, you would tell your dad like, oh, I'm gonna do this to please you. Whereas your husband, you just wake up, be yourself, and he's like, I love you. Like I'm content with the person you are. You don't have to try hard. You don't have to over explain yourself to show what good of a person you are, what good of a wife you are, right?
Yeah, it's crazy because my husband sees my potential, which is something I've never experienced. Like every man I've dated is just happy because I cook, I clean, I'm a traditional housewife. So it's like a lot of men have sought me out for that reason, but my husband saw that and was like, but you could be more. Like, why do you just want to be a housewife? Like he would tell me, why is your only goal to be a mom, like to stay home with your kids? Like you need more goals. He's like, babe, you could do whatever you want. That's what you want to do. But it's because growing up, like I had the traditional home and I was trained to be a wife. Like, I just was all of that. So my husband was like, but that's not what I'm looking for. So when my husband told me that, I'm like, oh my gosh, my whole life, I'm like, all I have to do is be a wife, cook and clean and have kids. Like I could do that, you know? But him being like, I want more. And it made me want to be more for him because he pushes that out of me. Like he makes me want to do all of that. And I'm just excited to create our own family and kind of have a different environment than what I grew up in. I'm excited to do all of that. I've waited so long to have kids because I know, like, not working on yourself, your traumas, I don't want to give that to my kids. Like, it's not fair that I even have to carry it. I feel like I was so stuck on my dad apologizing to me or accepting that he even did it. Because to this day, he will not accept that happened. Hasn't talked about it to me in 10 years. Like, never been like, oh, I'm nothing. So I feel like as a younger, I was like, I want that apology. Like, I want him to admit what he did to me. He never will. He's never admitted anything in his life. So it's like, I kind of had to look within myself to be like, I'm not going to get an I'm sorry. And I have to be okay with that, because I'm fantasizing about him doing something that he's never done in his life. This year was a lot of acceptance, a lot of like, if you're going to be on with him, then I can't be in your life, because like I said, I'm cutting, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, my wedding was definitely like a sealant. I think I've never been disappointed in my dad, and that's crazy to say, because like everything he's done up until like my wedding, like seeing him celebrate his birthday the day of my wedding was like eye-opener for me. Like, wow, this man really doesn't care. Like, I was getting married and he was like, I'm gonna throw myself a party.
Yeah, that's insane.
And like the people that I didn't invite to my wedding went. I don't know if they all went, but like I didn't invite certain people because they weren't supportive of like my decision of cutting my dad off and not having him at my wedding. So why would I set myself up for a no? So I just never sent it. And then once people started feeling some type of way and stuff popped off because of my wedding, I just kind of shut the door of inviting anyone. I was like, all right, I'm just, whoever comes, and whoever doesn't, I'm not extending my hand anymore.
Yeah, establishing that boundary, you know. And from now on forth, like I said, it's you feel like you never forget. It's an experience that, trust me, when you're 50, 60, 70, you're going to hold it. But it's never something that's going to continue to be like the reason why you continue to do certain patterns and stuff like that. I think it's time to heal, right? And to leave everything behind, shed everything that you don't need. Like you said, you're planning on building on your career, your marriage, you know, you want kids, you've decided to let go of all of that. It's still going to be there forever. You're never going to forget it. Something so dramatic like that. But if you keep using that as an excuse, it will always prevent you from doing what you're supposed to do, you know, being the best version of yourself and learning how to respect yourself by putting those boundaries. You don't need all these people. My mom always says, they don't pay my bills. Yes. So if they don't pay my bills, I do not care. I said my truth. Whoever wants to accept it, if not, do your own thing. Yes, it's going to hurt not to have certain family members, cousins, uncles, whatever the case is. But you're protecting your own peace. You know, you don't want to be living pissed off every day or like sad, like, oh, they don't talk. There's going to be other people that are happy to be in your life.
And that's what's crazy. Like, my biggest fear was putting my foot down and like seeing who was going to leave and who was going to stay. But after my wedding, like, the worst happened. And I'm still here. My life is still the same. And
it's better than before it was, you know, when you kept quiet.
Yeah.
Now you have spoken up your truth. And you're like, I don't care who's here with me. The people that are here are welcome.
I feel like, no one believed me. But it's not about being believed. It's more about, like, if you weren't in the house with me from when I was born to 18,
yes,
you don't know what happened and what I went through. And that's why I'm like, I wanted to speak out, because it's like, now I don't care about what anybody has to say, because if you weren't in it, if you weren't my mom and my sisters or my dad, your opinion is irrelevant because you weren't there. Like, you guys know the version of my dad that he wants to put out into the world, and that's okay.
Yeah,
you know, everybody can believe what they want, but you're not gonna force me to like be in the same room as someone that I don't want to be with. And that's kind of what this year is for me. It was part of my story, and I feel like it pushed me to really hone in my skills and really care about myself. It's like the self-love journey, because I lost myself trying to keep everybody happy, everybody at peace, like not worrying about my peace.
I definitely can relate to that. Before we, you know, end it out and close it out, is there anything you would like to share, or any encouragement, any advice for anyone who may be in the same situation? Because trust me, a lot of us, the shame of speaking out, it takes a lot of courage to publicly say something like that, especially these topics around taboo, like very sensitive stuff. Unfortunately, there is so many people that go through that everywhere around the world,
Yeah, honestly, I feel like TikTok is crazy, but TikTok has such a big, like, quotes, everything. It made me understand more of like what I was feeling, because I feel like before this I couldn't put into words like exactly what I was feeling. I just knew I wanted change. And I feel like understanding like my parents' mistakes and their relationship doesn't have to be me, but I have to put the work in to unlearn all of that and just really know who I am. I feel like as a kid I was very fashion, spunky, girly. I was the girl. I was 9 years old wearing crocodile heeled boots with a freaking crocodile little handbag, like, and I would wear mini skirts and go on dates like with my aunts like that, like dressed all like a schoolgirl vibe. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I was very happy child when I lived with like family. When I lived in San Jose and we were surrounded by family, I was a very happy kid. And then moving to Merced, it was like I got sucked away from everyone. It was just me, my mom, and my dad, and my sisters. And there was no outside distractions anymore. So I feel like, just trying to get back to that little girl that was so happy, spontaneous, and like excited about life. And kind of getting more into like the girlier side of myself. I feel like I lost that a lot, being hard, being like, I gotta push through this. I gotta do better. Like I feel like it was never, I gotta prove someone wrong. I feel like I just, mostly like I feel like this took away my self-love, my self-worth in my eyes. And I feel like that happens a lot when you go through a sexual assault. You don't want people to see you. Sometimes you gain weight because you're like, I don't want anyone to look at me with those eyes ever again. I feel like women lose the beauty in themselves because they want to hide. They want to make themselves less because of what happened to them. And I'm just learning to live unapologetically myself and not care about what people think, because like you said, at the end of the day, they're not paying my bills. Like, hey, how'd that girl say? My bills are paid. So it's just like, it is what it is. I'm just glad that I fell into the relationship that I did with my husband, because he really made my life a whole 360. I feel more of a woman since I got married. It's insane having so much insight and just growing as a person. I refuse to let my past turn me into anything other than what I've been doing, full of positivity.
I've definitely, as someone who's close to you, like I said, we've been friends for a long time. I've been there in different stages of her life that I'm like, wow, she is growing up to be, a great person overall, but like a good wife, a good friend, a good sister. I want that for everyone, anyone who has gone through, like I said, whether it's sexual, emotional, or physical abuse, you can heal from that. You can change your life around, and having a support system is the best way to do so. Like you used your husband as a way to help you be lifted up from all of that, to motivate you. I think we all need someone. And that's why I kind of created this podcast, because we talk a lot about sensitive topics. Talk about relationships, infidelity, everything. But this is a space that to make you feel like you're seen. We all go through stuff, sensitive topics like alcohol abuse, drug abuse, family dynamics, and you never know who the person is going through. There's millions of people going through the same thing. But I appreciate you coming here and voicing. I know it's not something easy to speak out. A lot of us, especially if you're shy or you come from a culture where they tell you, don't talk back to me, don't speak to me like that, it's hard. But I truly am happy for you, your accomplishments, and I know this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning, for sure. I have a lot of things I'm working on. I just I'm more of a working in silence person now.
Yeah.
I don't like putting everything out there, but I want to just thank you for letting me come in, giving me the room to like talk about it, because I've been wanting to. I just don't like being those people that crash out on my story and start bashing people, because that's not what I'm about. I feel like my actions speak louder than what I say. I really appreciate the space that you've built. I liked everything.
We would love for you to come back, maybe in a couple months, to see where you're at, a different situation, topic, something positive, how you started your business. You're a hairstylist, a makeup artist, everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
You get to see a different personality from a different lens, and that would be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like this really pushed me to want to be in front of the camera. Like, it even pushed me to start being more consistent in the gym, and like, because I'm like, oh girl, I ain't trying to look swollen on camera, but it is what it is. But yeah, like, I just started this journey. I'm a hairstylist. I can't be shy. I'm a very shy person, but you're my friend, so my personality really shines through when I'm with you, so it's cool. This was a first step of like, I want to show people more of myself on my beauty page, and not just be like hair. It also be about me and like what I do. But yeah, there's just more to come, and I would be excited to come back and talk about that in a few months.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. It probably won't be with another guest, but you guys will have me, and hopefully you guys like this episode.